Many thanks for sticking with us and watching. It's still Breakfast Central on News Central. Yes, a Friday edition, August 25th, 2021. In fact, the last Friday of August, if I'm not mistaken, based on my calendar checks. Now, there was a time when only celebrities or big companies had personal brands, and a time when famous singers, musicians, and actors got all the attention. We know that, right? Back then, some wondered whether it's even possible for the likes of entrepreneurs or a person to become a brand in itself. Now, let's talk about personal branding, what it means, and how you can develop one for yourself or perhaps another. And our guest is Queen Iwa. She's a French-based brand expert. What is branding and what is all important? So, Queen, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right. First of all, what is personal branding all about?
Personal branding is basically using your personality, your skills, your competence to tell a story, to add value to people's life. So basically, it's an umbrella of branding. Yeah.
Okay, an umbrella of branding, personal branding. So why is it important? We thought that perhaps only actors, celebrities, superstars on screen that need it. Is it possible for everyone to have a bit of personal branding?
Sure. You're a brand. I am a brand. Everyone is a brand. Everyone needs branding. And today, in this digital world, we are like social media driven. And there's so much noise. And if you want to create a path, if you want to create an opportunity for yourself, you have to brand yourself. You have to know how to brand yourself, how to tell a story that's going to engage and create a community. For a business owner, they need to create a community to drive sales. You know, everything is community-based today.
Wow. Yeah. Well, doesn't that really drive competition and capitalism? You know, because I always get skeptical talking about branding and personal branding. Like, okay, branding, corporate, to have a logo as a company. Personal branding, me? Hell no, I'm good to go. You know, so why is that important? Or perhaps I'm a woman, I'm a mother, I have 3 children. Why am I personal branding anything, you know?
Okay, personal branding is like basically you want to try to capture people's mind. Okay. It's like you want to put patterns into people's mind so that they can remember you, so they can say, oh, you know, this is that person, this is that person. There's no confusion. So that is why it's important. And for a mother is important for her to create a brand because she's going to tell stories, authentic stories to connect with people.
Okay, okay. So everyone needs some form of personal branding,
absolutely.
Despite your profession or trade. All right, so how do we begin to get this personal branding?
Okay.
Where do we start?
Very important. I would say start with the foundation. Everything needs a solid foundation. And in personal branding, you need your core values. What are your core values? Okay, what do you stand for? So you start from the foundation. And then after, okay, who I want to speak to? Who is my audience? Okay. So get to know demographics, get to know exactly who you want to speak to. That is very important because it guides you, give you a sense of purpose, a sense of direction to where to go. Or else you're going to be confused, you know, you'll be going everywhere. Yeah. And after, very important, brand identity. So brand identity is like, okay, the fancy website, the logo, because it's very important as well.
All right.
And then you have to use social media to tell your stories. I know.
The gift and the curse of social media.
Yeah. But it's very, very useful, you know. It's so powerful.
It looks like we all can't avoid it. And I wonder what Oluchi makes of all this, Oluchi.
Right now, Olisa, it's quite connecting to me because it says a whole lot about branding, and we know how important it is to have that kind of perception in our world and our digital age. But Queen, really, you're African and you're based in France.
Yeah.
How is it that you as an African have been able to keep that brand in an international setting? How have you been able to do that?
Oh, wow. Well, first of all, when I arrived in France, it was really a shock for me. You know, I couldn't speak French. People was asking me...
Parlez français?
No, je ne sais pas. So I couldn't speak French, and I was like, people were asking me, what's your name? I was like, So it was really, it was really frustrating, but I used that as a strength. I use that as a strength and say, oh, this is my story, and this is the story I want to tell of that little girl, Nigerian girl that arrived in Paris, couldn't speak any single word. And today now she's working for an international luxury brand. She speaks French, she speaks English, she's traveling all the world. And, you know, it just gives a sense of like hope and inspiration for other girls around me. So that's the brand I'm building today.
All right, Queen, would you say, you know, moving to France, because we know that when it comes to the French and Parisian culture, you know, there's fashion and there's, you know, branding, there's this personal style attached to it beyond the corporate, beyond the collective. perspective, would you say that's where it all started for you? That's where you drew this passion into becoming a personal brand expert?
Yeah, exactly. I started from myself. What is the story I want to tell? Like, how do I want to, it's like my true representation. How do I want to be perceived by people? What is my reputation? So when people sees me, what do I want to give as a message? So I had to start from myself. Again, it goes to starting from the foundation, who you are. So, okay, I'm Nigerian, I'm French. Okay, this is my personality. This is what I want to bring to the table. So personal branding really, truly helped me to have, like, to stand out from the crowd. And people started, you know, asking questions. Oh, where are you from? Oh, what do you do? I was like, okay, this is personal branding. So, yeah.
All right, so now it's profession for you as a brand expert working for luxury brands.
Exactly.
So I wonder, perhaps she might be taking, you know, contracts. You never can tell. Personal
yeah,
branding,
but you know,
right?
Olisa, I just want to ask her one last thing, because when it comes to personal branding and perception, especially in our digital space, looking at social media now, Queen, how can one draw the line between you giving a perception and you being real on social media, still around personal branding?
Girl, that is a good question. It's a very good question, because today, you know, we always say social media is highlights. So, and that's true, it's highlights. The way you're going to see me on social media and real life might not be the same. But I would say you have to know your boundaries. Know your boundaries, know how far you can go, and know who you are. Stand to that identity, because that is going to drive you to everything. It's good. You have to align yourself with things that you do. So when I share stuff on social media, I make sure that it's me. So if someone asks me, oh, do you do this? Oh, yeah, it's me. You know, feel good. But I know that people tend to, you know, do things that doesn't align with them just for the fame, or just for, and that is, it's a strategy again, you know. So if you feel comfortable, do it, but know your boundaries.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Queen Iyowa, personal branding expert, coming on Breakfast Central. I think I've learned so much about personal branding, and maybe, like they say, it's not just for the actors and the celebrities. Maybe other people can also have personal branding, no matter who you are and what you do. Thanks again for your time on Breakfast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.